They believe that the smart, pragmatic thing to do everywhere is to legalize the murder of children conceived in rape and incest. They are planning to pursue bills like SB 834 in every state. If you want to abolish abortion, then it is crucial that you join us in working to defund national right to life. National Right to Life has long been one of, if not the biggest, pro-life organization. They've got massive budgets, affiliated lobbying organizations in every state, and thousands of local chapters. Here in Oklahoma, a bill often moves if they want it to move and stalls if they want it to stall. However, that might be changing. Some of Oklahoma's politicians are waking up to their compromise. Oklahomans for Life, whose president is National Right to Life Vice President Tony Lounger, is currently lobbying the state legislature to pass Senate Bill 834, a bill which adds abortion exceptions for rape and incest, legalizes self-managed abortion, and protects abortifacient mechanisms and practices present in birth control and IVF. This bill would re-legalize surgical abortion in Oklahoma. It would legalize the tearing apart of innocent children, limb from bloody limb, based on the circumstances of their conception. It would prevent Oklahoma law enforcement from doing anything about the hundreds, if not thousands, of self-managed pill abortions taking place in Oklahoma each year. And this bill is the primary legislative project, not of Oklahoma Planned Parenthood, but of Oklahomans for Life. Thankfully, SB 834 has not moved since it passed committee in February. It's not dead yet, but time is running out on it. Because of many of you and those on our email list calling and emailing state legislators, the bill is not likely to pass this session. But that hasn't stopped Oklahomans for Life from lobbying for it. They have been regularly delivering emails and memos to Senate and House members asking them to support the bill, and they've also been sending regular emails to their supporters, asking them to call and email their legislators in support of SB 834. So they are marshaling Oklahoma pro-lifers in support of this pro-abortion, rabidly pro-abortion legislation. Their stated reason for doing all this in support of a bill that expands abortion is the same as the Republican establishment's reason for not wanting to protect certain babies. That is, public polling. They believe that it will be easier to prevent or vote down pro-choice ballot initiatives if we allow abortion in these limited circumstances. In defense of their claims, they cite a recent poll of Oklahoma voters which contains wildly inaccurate data. As you probably know, the wording of questions can vastly manipulate poll numbers. According to the WPA intelligence poll cited by Oklahomans for Life, we are supposed to believe that only 4% of Oklahomans support the current abortion law, which bans all surgical abortion in the state.
I don't believe you.
The WPA intelligence poll also reports that 76% of Oklahomans support abortion being legal for babies conceived in rape. However, a recent nationwide survey done by Pew Research on the subject found that only 69% of U.S. adults support abortion being legal in the case of rape. Again, that's a poll of the entire United States, including Seattle, San Francisco, New York City, and all the other rabidly pro-abortion areas. So WPA Intelligence and National Right to Life would have us believe that voters in Oklahoma, arguably the most anti-abortion state in the union, are substantially more pro-abortion than the average American. These numbers do not add up. It is safe to say that something else is at play here. It appears likely that this survey was commissioned by Oklahomans for Life for the purpose of justifying their work to expand abortion in Oklahoma. So in addition to working to expand abortion, National Right to Life and Oklahomans for Life are also commissioning or citing manipulative polls to justify their wicked actions. Their fake statistics are having an impact, unfortunately. One Oklahoma pro-life senator told her constituent after receiving Oklahomans for Life's email that there is a 100% chance that a state question to enshrine abortion as a constitutional right in Oklahoma would pass. This is complete nonsense. While the WPA poll would lead an observer to believe that Oklahoma is a state that hates the current abortion law and would overwhelmingly support an effort to enshrine abortion as a constitutional right in our state, the analysis of the numbers does not indicate this at all. The recent vote to enshrine abortion in the Michigan Constitution passed by a very similar margin to the state's governor's race, which featured pro-abortion leftist Gretchen Whitmer versus pro-life conservative Tudor Dixon. Michigan is a blue state that voted to protect abortion by about the margins that you would expect, given how left-leaning that state is. There's no reason to believe the same would not apply in Oklahoma, where, fake poll numbers aside, a strong majority does not support enshrining abortion as a constitutional right in our state. Of course, if Oklahomans for Life is actually worried about a ballot initiative, there are a number of possible reforms to the ballot initiative process that could be pursued. Abolitionist State Senator Warren Hamilton has introduced a Senate joint resolution each of the last 2 sessions to change the voting requirements for passage from a simple statewide majority to a majority of 2/3 of the counties. This would ensure that Oklahoma City and Tulsa are not able to force their slightly more left-leaning views on the rest of the state, which is overwhelmingly conservative. Many states have passed laws mandating a certain amount of petition signatures from each county in a given state to prevent all the signatures from coming from 1 or 2 highly populated regions. Both of these and countless others are good options if Oklahomans for Life is really afraid of a ballot initiative passing in Oklahoma. But the fact that they are not pursuing ballot initiative reform and instead are working to expand abortion is evidence that the ballot initiative scaremongering is just a ploy to help National Right to Life achieve the policy that they actually support. Like I mentioned earlier, this bill is causing some legislators to criticize Oklahomans for Life in a way that they never have before. State Representative Jim Olson, who for the record is not an abolitionist, but who is fiercely pro-life, wrote in the Muskogee Politico, "Who then is behind SB 834? Is it Planned Parenthood? No, it's not them. What about the Democratic Party? Surely they are working behind the scenes to undercut our abortion laws. No, it's not them either. Okay, maybe it's one of the Democratic state legislators. Nope, they are not guilty here either. The group working behind the scenes to make this happen is Oklahomans for Life." Yes, we are speaking of one of the most well-known pro-life groups in the state. Tony Lounger is the president of this group, and he has been working very hard lobbying legislators to vote for this pro-choice bill, Senate Bill 834. An ostensibly pro-life organization is working to undercut, dilute, and weaken the law that protects unborn babies in Oklahoma. This is mold-breaking stuff for a sitting state representative and pro-life leader to publicly blast the vice president of National Right to Life. A shift appears to be in motion. National Right to Life is losing favor, and rightly so. Not only are politicians in Oklahoma fed up with National Right to Life, but pro-lifers nationwide are beginning to see through them. One source who has a direct line of communication with National Right to Life said that Right to Life is planning to pursue bills like SB 834 in every state. They believe that the smart, pragmatic, pro-life thing to do everywhere is to legalize the murder of children conceived in rape and incest. Not only does National Right to Life support what is evil, they also fulfill Isaiah 5:20 completely by opposing what is good. For years, Tony Lounger and Oklahomans for Life has been the primary opposition to our bill to abolish abortion in Oklahoma.
You've got Oklahomans for Life opposing a bill that calls abortion what it is and says that we ought to stand up and do what's right.
For years, National Right to Life and their other state affiliates have been the primary opposition to abolition bills in more than a dozen states around the country. Last year, National Right to Life wrote and published an open letter signed by other pro-life groups publicly opposing the Abolition of Abortion in Louisiana Act, which was the first abolition bill to ever pass committee. In the states where Planned Parenthood and the ACLU don't have the ability to keep abortion legal, National Right to Life has been hard at work on their behalf. In his article, Representative Olson says there is and should be no political protection for a Republican politician who votes for a pro-abortion bill. If a Republican legislator wants to go into another line of work, they should vote for the pro-abortion bill SB 834. Of course, he's right. Any legislator who votes for SB 834 should be voted out of office at the next available opportunity and likely will be. But there should be no protection for any pro-life organization that sponsors the bill like SB 834 and cites fake statistics to manipulate Oklahoma legislators. Everyone should know exactly what National Right to Life is doing, and everyone should stop supporting them. If you donate to National Right to Life or to any of their affiliates, stop. If you know anyone who donates to National Right to Life, send them this video and ask them to stop donating to Right to Life. It sounds crazy, but truly, one of the most influential things that can be done to abolish abortion is the defunding of National Right to Life. They are taking money, millions of dollars, from well-meaning pro-life people and spending it to help pass evil legislation like SB 834 and to oppose righteous bills that would totally abolish abortion. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. They are false prophets, declaring to our politicians, "Thus says public polling, allow the murder of babies based on the circumstances of their conception," instead of, "Thus says the Lord, abolish abortion." National Right to Life is the enemy of preborn children. It's time to defund them and all of their affiliates.